Okay, let's talk about a touchy subject for a minute.
Hey!
It's stereotypes.
I'll tell you what's wrong before I get up the floor. Don't bring me down.
Now, of course, that wasn't our picture or anything. And yes, some people do live up to the stereotypes, even stoner ones. But what about the people that don't fit the stereotypes? Screw them, I guess, eh? Well, I'm one of them personally. Here's an example. I've been mistaken for a biker many times, but I've also been mistaken for a cop many times, and even once by a judge. I'm very proficient at using a computer, but I'm obviously not a computer geek. I play and like sports, but watching them for hours is just a little too boring for me personally. I can macrame, needlepoint, cook, or anything else I put my mind to, but I also like mountain biking, playing sports, martial arts, and yes, weed too. And that's just a few examples, and that's just me. Daryl breaks a few molds as well. Now mind you, Daryl works in the ceramics industry, so breaking molds is not always a good thing there. But as far as stereotypes are concerned, shouldn't everybody on Earth know that only a small certain type of people fall into the stereotype category? So what's the problem with all the racism crap then?
Hold that stuff! He's a nigger! He's a nigger! He's a nigger!
Oh my God!
A nigger! Look at the nigger!
Anyway, did you also hear about Obama getting the Nobel Peace Prize? Now everyone may not like what he's doing or whatever.
That's okay.
But, you know, if he can only preach worldwide peace, he's got my vote. We need to see the big picture here. I'll tell ya, the hippies were bang fucking on with the love, peace, and other crap, eh? If we work out the big crap, the small crap falls into place. Literally as well. And that's it for that shit. I can smell the segment ending.
Ooh, that smell. Can't you smell that smell? Ooh, that smell.
Okay, it's time for another celebrity on weed.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Okay, since Zombieland has Bill Murray sort of smoking a bong in it, let's do him. Let's do him good. And we'll be doing a Woody soon, too, so let it go limp for now. Anyway, we don't actually have a quote from Bill Murray on weed this time, but we do have some info about him being a definite stoner, that's for sure.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
When Bill was 20 years old during a brief move to Denver, where he was studying pre-medicine at Regis College, he was arrested attempting to smuggle nearly 9 pounds of pot through Chicago's O'Hare Airport.
5 pounds.
Whoa. Billy, don't be a hero.
Yeah.
You couldn't supply all of us forever anyway.
Paper lace.
Yes. And that was what he was doing, wasn't it? Supplying us all?
All the traps in my pocket. I'll tell you what to do with them. All the traps in my pocket. Am I really through with them?
Oh, and Bill worked as a caddy to help pay for tuition at Loyola Academy. Is it a coincidence that he was also in Caddyshack? I'm not sure, but it is coincidental. And speaking of coincidence, here's the end of this segment.
Here's another stoner story for you.
Okay, this story is about a couple of oops moments.
Bonjour, vous allez bien? Oops.
Oh.
Well, not quite like that. I was wearing a different outfit. Any tranny, what happened was, I had about 10 dime bags in my pockets, and of course I was incredibly stoned. Go figure. So of course we had to take the bus somewhere. I did have a car for most of my teenage years, but not all of them. Anyway, I'm getting on the bus with my buddy, and since he went in first, he had already paid. So I go up to the ticket box and start looking for my change. Well, apparently, I was so fucking wasted that I started dropping dime bags out of my pockets while looking for the change. So here I am digging in my pockets and bending over, picking up dime bags every 2 seconds. My buddy says, "Hey man, don't worry about it." I said, "What are you talking about? I gotta pay." Then he said, "No you don't, come on." So I went to the back of the bus with him and sat down.
You know, you're supposed to be some slick shit killer. Now look at you. All back of the bus and shit.
Anyway, what my buddy told me was that as I was dropping the dime bags, the bus driver was watching the whole thing and even said that if I didn't have so much dope on me, I'd find the change. And apparently she even laughed. So what's the point to that story? Well, first of all, be more careful when stoned. But also, that the driver didn't immediately call in the SWAT team or anything and even let me on free. I wonder why. Well, I guess she saw me as a harmless teenager with or without the drugs. Unfortunately, cops, some judges, politicians, and religious extremists don't see us as harmless. Obviously, just the opposite, actually. Okay, the second oops story is when I went into the beer store. Go figure. They had this cash register that was flat on top and almost like a scale or something. So I go to pay for the beer.
I believe there'll be no charge on this too for a beer, thank you.
Excuse me?
Okay, we found this mouse in a bottle of Elsinore beer that we bought at your beer store, eh? And we heard, like, when that happens, that you get your beer free.
And when I pulled my hand out of my pocket, I went to put the change on the register. And a piece of hash comes flying out of my pocket at the same time and coincidentally lands right on the cash register as well. Both of us looked down at the same time, and then I very quickly, ninja style, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, ninja.
I snatched that fucking piece like I was Grasshopper Kid in the Kung Fu TV show.
You mean ganja style?
Yeah, ganja style. Anyway, you know the one with David Carradine.
Yeah.
Man, you should have seen the look on that guy's face though. It's like he couldn't believe that what the hell I just did, eh? We were the only ones to even see it, and once again, there was no need for cops to get involved. Yeah, it could have gone that way too. But it would have been pretty pathetic on their parts if it had, really. Anyway, that's it for a couple of quick stoner oops stories.
Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant.